Yo, this is Yun Loco, and you're listening to the Nightly Strange.
You're welcome to the Nightly Strange.
Welcome to the Nightly Strange, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, D-Mac Uno. Live and direct from the basement. What it do. Special guest host in the building today. Yun Loco in the building. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. What up, man?
What's happening with it?
I'm chilling. Had a crazy ass weekend. I just got done eating a whole bunch of tacos. I hope nobody can hear me slurring. How you been doing?
Oh man, living. Trying to do what I can do in this pandemic that we're going through.
Yeah.
The world we live in.
Wild times of the pandemic. You about to have a baby, right?
Yeah.
How you feel about having a baby in the pandemic?
Excited, scared, as I should be, nervous. Everything that normally comes with having a baby ain't nothing new.
Yeah, I've been ducking KIDs for years now. My son just turned 12. My oldest daughter's 18. The middle child's 14. I'm almost done.
Bruh, it's a pandemic every year. So every year the kid's been born, there's something going on where that kid shouldn't have been born. So
yeah. I feel bad for all the kids that were born last year in 2020. They gonna say the birthday. They say 2020. Everyone's gonna be like, excuse me. Ooh. I say these tacos I got out the cone, bro. Oh my gosh, they're fucking delicious. Got that consume, a little soup, dip it in with the red onion and the cilantro. You never had that?
Yeah, no.
Slap it.
As long as you ain't no Taco Bell, you'll be good.
No, I can't do Taco Bell unless I'm feeling clogged up and I go get Taco Bell because that helps flush out my system. Dead ass.
It's a natural laxative.
Yes, let me get like 4 beef chalupas. I'll be fine tomorrow. Down 20 pounds.
We're gonna clean it out.
Yo, speaking of fast food, man, I see all these people and they're talking about how they want, $15 minimum wage. They want unions in their business and stuff. And I understand that $15 minimum wage, cost of living's gone up and shit. But I look at the situation like this. You wasn't bitching about the pay when you asked for the job. When they sat down, they offered you the job. They said, hey, we're going to pay you blah, blah, blah this much.
True.
Makes sense. You're working fast food.
Yeah.
It's not like you're at a restaurant or nothing. Like you ain't no chef. You're reheating already cooked food.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you just need to move on in life.
Okay, I can understand your side of things, but you know me, I'm always the person to look on the other side as well. What I would say is when the pandemic hit in the 2020 and they deemed who was essential, we really got to see what made America run. We really got to see for all these people that wasn't cooking at home, don't know how to cook, can't prepare a meal to save their life. Coffee stands were deemed essential. McDonald's was deemed essential. Like when everybody else, they shut down the whole government. The government couldn't be at work to handle the shit that we need to get, the shit that we need taken care of in the pandemic. But McDonald's is running like a motherfucker. You sitting at home collecting unemployment. Unemployment never hit their line because they had to go to work.
Oh, they got hero pay. You know
what
hero pay is?
But it wasn't what we got.
You know what hero pay is? Superman ain't never got a paycheck either. You know what I'm saying? People gotta look at the key words they use.
In this country that we live in, you pay for the luxury and the comfortability and you stay in your bracket of what your money allots you. What we rely on the most in this world is, to me personally, is we go out there and we work for whatever faction we work for to make that organization run. And then when we get done from doing that, when we don't have time to cook our food and prepare our meals and do all this other stuff because of the demands that are needed from us to take care of our families, we rely on this source. If you can't appreciate the people that make your life easier and those luxuries were to all of a sudden go away, now everything's being made by a robot. You tell me how you gonna feel at that point.
Well, I know the robot ain't gonna forget to take the pickles off a cheeseburger.
Yeah, but I also know that a robot need to update, get viruses, can be hacked and everything else. So ain't no telling what's going in your food then when you take the human factor out of it.
But I can sue the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many times I go to fast food restaurants and I unwrap what they just gave me and I'm like, this person hates their job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You waited till I got there to show it.
Right. But at the same time, I also know that if I was getting paid $17.50 an hour to make your burger, I'd probably have a little bit more, I show a little bit more love towards your shit because I'm getting paid. People that get paid well to do what they do take pride in what they do.
But I'm saying it's like this. It's like, you go apply for a job. They say, okay, we're going to pay you $11.50 an hour to flip these burgers and shit. Right? And you might get a 25-cent raise a year. Right. You're not like, if you don't want the job, you'd be like, nah, I don't want that. That's not enough. But if you're going to accept the job, do the job.
That's true, but at the same time, can we talk about the influx of America? Like, what happens when the price of everything keeps going up, but your pay remains the same? what happens when these companies are making all of this money and they're making all these moves and they're promoting your managers and whatnot, but you're down here at the bottom. If you don't give a person a reason to love the thing that they do, LeBron does what he does because he's paid well for it. I promise you LeBron would not be the same player if they weren't paying him the way that they were paying
Well, that's
him.
basketball, though. He got $1 billion Nike deal.
But it's relevant. It's relevant. Like,
saying, though,
like I've been in fast food before, bro.
Same.
And I've worked there for a minute, and I knew what my job was, right? But you have to understand that there's always going to be the need for somebody to be in that position.
Yeah, but a fast food job it used to be an entry level job. Which it's an entry-level job. It used to be a job for like teenagers and college students. You know what I'm saying? People were trying to work at fast food restaurants being 40, 43, thinking they should get like, top pay, $20 an hour, retirement plan and pension. No, that's not what the job is set up for. It's an entry-level job. If you don't like the pay you getting at a certain job, you need to move on to another job.
You say that it's an entry-level job, but I know that when you go and do the orientations and you sign up for these companies, they tell you about what a career with this company will look like.
Yeah, if you push through the management.
From start to finish. I feel like any job that you go for, we know that you're supposed to elevate in life and that you're supposed to, you go from one thing to the next thing and you get better. But for some of us and some of the situations that we're in, this is what it is. There's a lot of people out there that don't have the credentials right now to go and put themselves in a position to do something that pays the allotted amount of money. But McDonald's is that option for you, and McDonald's also makes more money probably than the person who's making all this money over here somewhere. McDonald's makes billions and billions of dollars. They have enough money to be able to pay their employees handsomely.
Yeah,
at least the cost of living. And that's what it really boils down to, is the cost of living. Like, if I come here for any job that I work, if I work at that job for full time, bare minimum, this should be able to take care of me, myself personally.
It used to be. I mean, even Fred Meyer used to be a great job. Safeway used to be a great job.
Right.
Like, I was working at Safeway, bro, and I was making minimum wage, and I had to pay union dues. And the union dues was cut into my minimum wage, so I was making less than minimum wage, paying a union that wasn't doing nothing for me. Then when they were supposed to give me a raise, the person wouldn't press the button and give me a $2 raise. They want me to fire people. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I didn't stick around. I left. I found something better. That's what you got to do. I mean, you can't be working at McDonald's and Taco Bell and expect them to show you some love. Because when the people started asking for the minimum wage hike, they was like, all right, cool, we got you. And then they started making robots to work inside. That's why they got all them kiosks. When you go inside some place to order, that's why they got the kiosk and you got the person sitting there that's supposed to take your order, staring at the machine about to replace them.
You serious?
We can't set the expectation for our children that what they decide to go do, that they can't be the best in it and they can't change the standard. They can't raise the bar, in essence. So what I would tell anybody that, is talking about the differences between whether fast food employees should be paid more for what they do, I would say, do they deserve more for what they do? For servicing the public every single day, not getting no thanks, not getting no nothing for that. Not getting you go to your job and you do exactly what you do. I still feel that they provide a service for the public, just like the police. They show up for you more than the police do. Stop that. They show up for hell yeah, they're there every day when you need them. They'll show up and they provide you the same service every single day.
Because that's their job.
You call the police and the police take 30 minutes to get to you. Like, come on, they service the public just like everybody else.
We're having technical difficulties at the moment. Thanks for listening. And make sure you don't take any shit from the world. We'll be back on in a minute. We're having technical difficulties at the moment. Someone probably almost said something incriminating or people are fighting. We might let you know, but right now we have to make a show.
People go to school and go to college and still got to get out of college and go work for fast food to pay off their loans because the jobs aren't available.
People go to college and they major in stupid shit like English literature. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just wasted all that whole 4 years in somebody's money, your own money.
Not necessarily. It might have just been when they went to school that shit was popping. We know how much times changed.
How many people work doing English literature?
All I know is that when we were younger, they used to always tell you that if you know another language, that you were going to be okay in life because somebody that was bilingual would get a job faster than somebody that wasn't. That's just some of the things that we used to say back in the day. That may not be the case today.
I wish I would have took Spanish
right now. You know
I
what I'm saying? But
I would have been the man.
that was a saying. You know just as well as I do that was a saying back in the day. Like, bro, if you know Spanish or some other language, they're going to pay you more because you know this extra. So when you go back in the day, the people that went to school for whatever they went to school for, that's just obsolete now.
Yeah.
You know, because time moved on. That's not their fault. When they went to school, that was a smart decision. This field right now is jumping, it's booming. So let me go and get my degree or at least some credentials in that field so that way I can get paid for that too.
I always talk about that shit with people with jobs that are obsolete. Like the guy that used to make buggies for horses and buggies, like he never thought his job would be going away.
Right.
People that built typewriters didn't think their job would go away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All that shit's gone.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what 2020 did for us, though? 2020 really leveled the whole playing field for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it really put everybody at such a keen and even level that you could really realize, like, for me, it made me realize even more the worth and the need of and the respect value that I have for somebody who's out here working when I'm sitting at home. I'm a person that works in the restaurant business. So, you know, I serve, I cook, I do stuff like that. They shut my job down. They sent me home. And when they first sent me home, they was giving me $800 a week. And I don't care what type of severance pay you was talking about, you was giving them fools. When I did my taxes at the end of this year or the end of last year, for not working and still came out on top almost 30 racks. Like, you have to ask yourself at that point, I know good and goddamn well that them fools at McDonald's that still had to get up and go to work because unemployment wasn't like, oh, quit your job and we still gonna give it to you. That was like, nah, nigga, unless you still have the proper credentials to say that you are approved for unemployment, that's the only way that we're gonna give it to you.
I remember people was hot about that too.
So
they was real. They was like, I'm still working. These motherfuckers making more.
So come on. So I'm saying these people. So that gave me a greater appreciation for the people that was still at McDonald's when we was sitting at home spending this unemployment money, going back to their businesses to spend the unemployment money in their face. In their face, bro. $50 worth of McDonald's. Let's go. Reddit, bitch, bro, right now.
You got $800 in fucking unemployment, $400 in food stamps.
Bruh.
Like, dudes was, I've seen there people posting shit. They was eating lobster every night. Lobster and shrimp.
Come on. If you don't appreciate the person that never, like, during the pandemic, you're talking about the pandemic where you got all this time to chill and see what was going on with the world. There were people that were still out there that had to get up every single day and still go do it, putting themselves at risk, putting their families at risk. To get the same shitty ass treatment that we give all fast food employees.
It was worse. It was worse.
It was worse.
Because the majority of people that are out don't give a fuck about nobody anymore.
Yeah, they were overworking the fuck out of them because you have to know the fast food money when the fast food industry started booming during the pandemic. People can't cook.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was sitting in front of IHOP today with my daughter, bro, and I was seeing everybody going in there built like tornadoes and shit. I was like, damn.
And even if you give, so I'm pulling my phone right now.
I couldn't even go inside. There was some little kid dressed up as a bear, and he was making me nervous.
So check this out.
He was like 2.
If you gave fast food employees, I got my calculator out right now.
What the hell?
Hold on, guys. Fast food employees, $17 an hour. That's $1,300 every 2 weeks. That's $2,700 in a month. Bro, I know my rent by itself costs $1,800.
They say you got to believe a single apartment. I believe you have to make $23 or $26 an hour to afford to live here where we're at.
It's still not enough money, bro, and these companies waste money for less. They will put millions of dollars into promotion when it wouldn't even cost $1 million to take one little McDonald's.
Well, they had that, I think it was either California or Texas. I think it was Texas recently. Like, the power went out in the Fred Meyer's. You know, the freezers. And this happened to me when I was working at Safeway. The power went out in the freezers, right? So I was like, damn, y'all, can we take the food home? They said no. Mm-hmm. Took all that shit and dumped it all in the dumpster.
Yep.
I watched them do it too. Disgusted, like, damn. It didn't go bad yet, but they took it all and they dumped it in the dumpster. And the place in Texas, I think it was, they had police guarding the food so people couldn't come in there and take it. And at the Safeway I worked at, they had employees out there standing in front of there to make sure people couldn't take it. I was disgusted. That was like millions of dollars almost worth of food they just toss away.
Bro, I remember when I worked for Dollar Tree, I was the manager up there. And when the companies called and they were like, X out this product, throw it in the trash can, and you're like, we did everything that we could to make sure that that product was unusable so other people can go out there and go get it.
That's like when I worked at KFC, they was like, yeah, take all the food and throw it away at the end of the night. I said, do what? These had the big old chocolate cakes. They were like, yeah, throw that away, it's bad. Manager take off. We were like, yeah, we throw all the food in a trash bag, put that shit in the back of the car. You know what I'm saying? Who wants some chicken strips?
Come on.
I remember my homeboy was like, he was working at KFC and they was like, they're making us throw away all this hot sauce. I was like, all the hot sauce? They're like, yeah, it's bad. I'm like, no, it ain't. I took all that shit and fucking cut it open and poured it in jars and shit and kept it.
Bro, I mean, to cap this subject, what happened during the pandemic was they gave us damn near everybody at least should have been making anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000 a month. And that's when we really figured out that this is the amount of money, bare minimum, that it actually takes to live.
Well, no,
and when we're
Twitter,
talking about live, we're talking about like I'm able to do for my family. Like I don't have to worry about what's coming on next.
That's why they tried to cut it off because people
exactly.
were seeing what life was really
it's
like.
This is what it means to live,
yeah.
bro. And like on God, like after that, bro, like if this is not the bare minimum that we're asking for in America, period, then we can never expect that. Even in good jobs, that we'll be getting paid what we should be getting paid.
Well, they try to have a general strike. People were trying to go for it, but other people were scared. You know, a general strike is when everybody just stops working and be like, boom, no, this is what we want. You know what I'm saying? Because like what happened recently, they were trying to give everybody $600 checks, but they were going to give illegal immigrants that aren't in the country correctly, you know, say properly, they were going to get the full payment. So they're about to get $1,800, while American citizens were going to get $600. Then they were sending all this money to foreign countries, and everybody kind of stopped. You know, Democrat, Republican, they was like, hold up, you can't do this to us. And they're like, whoa, not all of you at once.
Like teachers know how crucial their job is. Not only are they educating our youth for the future, but they're also daycare workers. You know, they're babysitters. Like, and so when they go on strike and they say, hey, we're not doing this, right? All it takes is about a week of them doing that before people realize and start to value the need of, if there was no fast food places for people to go to ask for more money, then this wouldn't even be a conversation. But there's a need in America that people want these people here, so that way they can have this luxury. Again, luxury. If you are paying for a luxury, then pay for the luxury. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Fast food is a luxury, bro.
To who?
It is not to the people that don't want to go home and cook their own food.
Fast food don't even look like, when they give it to you, don't even look like the picture. I'm surprised no one's sued for that shit.
America is the laziest country in the world, bro. All we ever do is find out a way to make things easier to where we don't have to do it ourselves.
Of course,
fast
America's
food
lazy, bro.
is a luxury, bro. I remember when this city right here only had a McDonald's. There's literally a fast food spot, a Starbucks, and everything on every single corner.
There's a coffee shop on every corner out here.
Come on.
There's so many coffee shops. And women was like, hold on, we got to get naked to sell coffee.
I come from the South, bro. There is not a coffee stand anywhere. That's not how they get down. That's not how they run. That's not how they operate.
No, this
like, bro, the luxury is what we pay for. How is the Bautistas deemed essential, bro? How were they out here essential? Because it's the luxury that people pay for, so that way they could get on about their life, because they feel like without this, life would be so much harder.
Well, coffee's
so pay for it.
Caffeine's a drug.
Pay for it.
Caffeine's a drug.
And
anybody that drinks coffee that doesn't think caffeine.
How much? Ask yourself how much the Bautistas get paid. Starbucks employees get paid damn near $17, $18 to start with. That's the luxury that you pay for.
You ever seen a Starbucks shop? I would go get coffee for my kids and my mom the other day. I watched that lady make 3 drinks so gracefully. It was like someone playing a piano. Had a whole line just doop, 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 doop. I'd pay her too.
And it's better than you can do at home. You know that. That's
but she's making it from scratch. She's not taking a frozen patty, putting it on a grill, and then letting it sit up somewhere until someone orders it.
Come on, bro. I mean, how hard is it to make a cup of coffee?
How hard is it to not put pickles on my burger if I tell you don't put pickles on my burger?
This is true. This much is true.
How hard is it to give me warm fries?
This much is true.
How hard is it to make me a fresh fillet of fish?
This is true. This is true. So if you're talking about, but I feel like at the same time, you go to Red Lobster, them servers are making minimum wage, but they're also making the
tips. Yeah.
Okay. So
fast food restaurants don't give them tips.
What they're working for, the reason why they provide the service that they provide for you, It's because they want you to pay them for that service. This shouldn't even be a discussion after that fact right there. You go to a restaurant and you expect good service because you paid for it. If you're going to go to a restaurant, to a fast food place and get all this food for $1 a piece for these employees that are only making $14, $13 or whatever minimum wages an hour, then you should 100% expect what you paid for. You go to a restaurant for a reason. You go to a fast food restaurant for a reason.
I go to fast food because I'm drunk. I'm like, let's go get some tacos from Jack in the Box.
Come on, but you would not go into a restaurant drunk because you know that there's a certain caliber that you have to hold yourself to because you want these people to hold you to the same caliber.
The only restaurant I've ever been drunk in was at a Denny's at like 3 o'clock in the morning after a bar. And I was passed out.
And those employees make minimum wage. And they barely get tipped. They barely get tipped. I promise. I worked at Red Lobster, fool. I was making fucking $600 out the weekend. I promise you that they're doing double the numbers, and them servers ain't coming out with that type of money.
Well, they got other states too where they only pay the servers like $2 or something.
I worked in Arkansas when the minimum wage was, they cut it in half for your server. So I was making $3.15 because I was making tips at the same time. So you have to know that was my livelihood. I literally had to go out there and dance for these motherfuckers, so that way I could pay my own bills. So again,
I don't mean
when
to
I
laugh.
come, you can laugh, bro.
People walking with the tray like, who had the curly fries?
You had to have even to get the job, you had to have personality. You had to sell yourself because they knew that they weren't going to make any money if you weren't making any money because you weren't going to put what you needed to into the company if you weren't getting out of it what you wanted. Pay these people what you want. Watch the product get better. That's the way it works for all business.
Yeah.
You pay the employees. You make them comfortable. They're going to give you a product that is worth the amount of money that you pay them.
So, man, how do you feel about zodiac signs and people that use them to justify their asshole intentions and attitudes?
So zodiacs. I was just talking to my girl about this the other day. I was like, babe, it's crazy how America. I don't know if it's just America because I don't do a lot of research on other countries and things like that. But I feel like it's just another method of mind control. You know, they tell you that you're born in a certain month. So the month that you're born in, you have to be a certain type of way. What we don't realize is that when you read your little zodiac, all they're giving you is the most common, basic result for a common basic reaction, and most people are going to be able to agree or apply that to themselves in their life.
You remember when they was going to change them? They was like, wait, we found an extra zodiac sign, everything's moving. Motherfuckers lost it. Right. It was like, no, right. No, right. They was ready to kill them.
If you believe in zodiac, then you have to believe in the minds, because that's technically, well, from what I believe, or from what I know, that's technically what they go off of, was like astrology, like the stars and stuff. Like, yeah, that's what they go off of, right? So we've been sitting around America waiting for the minds and the shit that they've been talking to come true forever.
The minds?
Yeah.
You mean like the dudes with the makeup? The dudes
that were saying like
the Mayans.
The Mayans, yeah.
Mayans. You say you talking about Mayans? I'm like, yo, who's making the box? Who's pulling the rope?
My bad. So yeah, the Mayans. They was talking about. I remember 2K, Y2K.
Nah, see what happened with the Mayans, bro, is like, you know, when the Christianity came through, you know, they were like, well, you know, we're introducing you to our shit. The Europeans and shit came down there. And so what they did was they started burning all their history. And then some of the dudes there was like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't burn all this. And so they saved a couple of books. So they finally deciphered them. They were like, oh shit, they have this calendar that goes all the way up to like 2012.
Right.
And they're like, that's the end of the world. Like, well, maybe those are just the books you saved.
Right. Well, from what I understand from astrology and the Mayans is that, like, their timetable of what they predicted and what they seen was just from how they followed, you know, the rules of astrology. Like, yeah. They're like they were the innovators of that shit.
Actually, astrology started in Egypt. Astrology, mathematics, and science. It all came from Egypt.
You don't have to edit all that out.
Okay. No, we're gonna leave it all in there.
But yo, this is just what I know. So just astrology, period, right? If you tell me that I'm born in January, so that makes me a more trustworthy person, more this, more that, but it makes me this and that, like the equal on the opposite side. What I'm going to tell you is that if you tell me something for so long, eventually I'm going to start to believe it. And you can make anything out there in the world relevant to what's going on in your life. Everybody perceives shit differently. So I feel like they're the greatest con artists in the world because they have sanctimoniously for so long been able to just give people information and make them believe that this is a part of their life and this is what they run off of, this is what they operate off of, and it's crazy to even look at.
I think the biggest con artist these days is Xbox and Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, I say Nintendo's con artists because they kept making little Nintendo handheld games or systems, but you couldn't put the old games into it.
Right.
And I think Xbox is the con artist because they still make you put batteries in the back of your controller. That's a
Yeah, but they taught us something. Nintendo, all them people taught us something though. Like we learned from them. We learned that if we gonna sell somebody a bag of weed back when weed wasn't legal to sell.
We're having technical difficulties at the moment. Someone probably almost said something incriminating or people are fighting. We might let you know, but right now we have to make a show. We'll be right back on in a minute.
And because I worked for a weed farm, and let me tell you that weed that they sell you, the weed that they give you, is nothing like the weed that we used to get back in the day. It's dry and crispy from the time it go in the bag. It's not because it's added to the dispensary. So you're paying for the damn looks, that jar that Freddie Fuego put it in. You're paying for, the presentation. You're not paying for the actual product. So
man, let me ask you another question. So if you could time travel to any time in the past, where would you go?
I would go. Shit, I don't even know. I always told myself if I can go back in time, I'd go back to right around when I was like 13, 14 years old. And that was around 2003, 2004, because I was at that point in my life where I felt like I understood the world for what it was, and the world wasn't that bad at that point. Like, we were at a medium that, like, everybody was getting along and the system was working and operating the way that it was supposed to. So...
What year, 2004?
Yeah, right around 2004, 2005.
Yeah, it was fun times.
Yep.
That's after 9/11. I'd probably go back to 95. You know, I was talking to my son, and he was like, "Ooh, I want to go see what the Roaring '20s looks like." And I said, "Why?"
Right.
I was like, I mean, the furthest I want to go back and see what dinosaurs really look like, because I don't believe they look like what they look like in museums.
Right.
But I don't want to go back to any time past 95.
Right.
Besides that, because there ain't nothing back there for me.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't
At
want to
all.
go past. I really don't want to go past before they made hand sanitizer.
Hmm?
You know, think about it. I bet everybody in like the 1700s just stank compared to what we smell like.
It was probably a movie I was watching, but they were saying somewhere in the movie that back in the day, like before they had the toilets and all that shit, like the world stank. They said when you get off the plane and you go to Africa, like the whole continent stank. Like, as soon as you get off the plane, because the ecosystem that we have here for, you know, our disposal, our waste, all that stuff, like we have a system that appeases us as Americans, but other people haven't lived like that their whole life. A smell that we might think, is a smell that they're like, this is life. Like,
Well,
if you
I
go
think
to
it
Louisiana,
depends. You know, like in America, bro, they show you see pictures of Africa, they show like starving children and war-torn areas. But like if you look at Zimbabwe looks like New York. You know what I'm saying? They have like old civilizations that have been there for thousands and thousands of years.
But if we're gonna think about it on an even scale, that's Bremerton to Bainbridge Island. I mean, like,
hey, yo,
I mean, every place has their cities where it's bad.
They got a place on Bainbridge Island called Manitou Beach, right?
Yeah.
The home you buy, the land you have to buy is $1 million before you can buy your put your house up or whatever, right? And like you have a beautiful view of the ocean, you can see Seattle. But see, all their plumbing goes right into this little water bank thing that's right there. The water is maybe like 3-4 feet deep. So when the water goes out, it just tide goes out. But anyways, all their shit and piss goes right there.
Right.
So you done paid almost $2 million to live here to smell shit every day. Like when you drive, if you ever drive on Bainbridge Island and it's a hot sunny day and you're driving, you're like, man, why does it smell like shit? It's because the people that paid $2 million for a home, all their poop and stuff is right there for them to look at it.
You remember back in the day when you used to go across the Tacoma Narrows and the paper mill had smelled like shit all the time?
Oh, the aroma of Tacoma.
That's how all of Louisiana smell at any given point in time. Sugarcane stank, bro. It smells like manure. It smells like cow shit all of the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. So you've been making music lately. You decided to pick it back up.
Yeah.
What's the moves for that? What you doing with that now?
Bro, I don't know. If I'm being honest, I don't really know. I know that everybody has their opinion on how you should do it, and I've looked online and there ain't no book or nothing out there for how to do it. There's a how-to on everything in life, but how to make it as a rapper, like how to like a 1, 2, 3 manual for if you do this, you will make it successfully. That ain't there. So when it comes to my music, what I've developed is a love for what I do, and I do it as a hobby, but more so. Like it's not just a hobby. It's a like almost what religion is to somebody else. It's what I believe in. Yeah. Like to my core. I feel like I have learned this craft that I can do so well, and I feel like there ain't nobody else in my lane with me for how I do it. That if I just keep doing it, that the chips that fall will fall in place for my life the way that they're supposed to, just because I have something that I stick to. Like people follow religion. I'm not very much of a religious person, but I believe in whatever you believe in is okay to me. Because if you believe in something, then you have something to stand for. A motherfucker that can't stand for nothing will fall for anything.
Right.
So as long as you have something to stand for, you have morals and values that I can fuck with you on. Even if they're wrong, the one thing that you're showing me is that if you stand for whatever you stand for, then I can at least believe in that's what you believe, and you ain't gonna switch up on me at any given time. I know where to put you in my life. So rap to me is almost like my religion. It's poetry. It's the way that I express my life, and it's really not for you. It's not for my fans. It's not for anybody else. I've just heard over time that people enjoy it. People think that I should do something with it, but to me, if it makes it somewhere, that's cool. But if it don't, like literally it's the story of my life. When I die, when I pass on and move on, you'll be able to go play my music from beginning to end and see the growth of where I was when I was a boy, the growth that you've seen, where I was as a boy, and how I translated that into being a man. You'll hear my morals and values in my music. You told me a long time ago, you know, cursing and all that in your music, like that's not what you want to portray to your kids. That's not your legacy that you want to leave behind. Like I took a piece of that when I was younger and said that I'm not going to not necessarily cuss, but I'll make sure that I'm never derogatory towards women. I'm never, you know, putting anybody on blast, like disrespectful in any kind of way. Like it's something that stands for me. And when you hear my music, I can go back and tell you, you can listen to my music and go back and know what type of person I am.
Yeah. Where do people find your music at?
Bro, right now, my work that means the most to me is on SoundCloud. I have a lot of music that is going on all other platforms moving forward because I have a lot of projects that I'm working on. But to be honest with you, when I first started off, I was a mixtape rapper. And the mixtape game, we know how that went. It's changed up. It's not the same as what it used to be, and people don't appreciate it no more the way it is. And it really was a gimmick that worked for its time, but like you got to be better than that now. So if you want to hear some shit that I did way back when, and you know, it's on other people's beats and all that, and I'm acting foolish, you know, saying whatever I want, go look me up on SoundCloud, Yun Loco. That's SoundCloud.com. You can, if you go into Google and type in YUN space LOCO, I promise you the first thing that's gonna pop up is me. Go listen to my music, actually listen to it, and then just give me a couple months. I'll have something new for you, a real project that, you know, we can all be proud of.
For sure.
Because we know what Yun Loco been doing. Everybody that's heard my music, you know how I do, and you know what I do. can't be replicated, and I'm about to put that into it, what y'all been asking for, so let's go.
For sure, man. Well, thanks for coming on to my shows. Are any shout outs you want to send to anybody?
Hell yeah. Shout out to D-Mac Uno, my guy. He is single-handedly the reason why I even do this rap shit that I do, the reason why I'm the man that I am today, because he's been such a solid motherfucker in my life that that's the manuscript that I'm following by. So shout out to that nigga. Shout out to my nigga Dice, my manager, raising the bar. He believed in my dream. He invested in my dream. And we about to cash out on that soon. Shout out to my little nigga Dylan. It's my little partner. He invested in my dream. He's younger than I am, 21, 22 years old. And he said he believes in what I do. So, man, shout out. Shout out to my fam. I got my baby Gabby on the way. My little daughter, she's on the way here soon, 2 months. My daughter Desiree. And yeah, everybody else, all of y'all. Shout out y'all. Hope y'all doing good.
Yes. Well, man, thanks once again. Thanks for coming on to the show. I'm D-Mac Uno. This is the Nightly Strange.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Yun Loco in the building. We out.
Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah. Hey, look, bitch, I'm bad, yeah. The way I be moving, I know what I'm doing to get to the bag, yeah. You know I be coolin' like all I be doing is popping them tags, yeah. All I want is some better things, give me everything I never had, yeah. Bitch, I get in the bag, ooh, tell them niggas I'm bad. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Mr. Clean, Jimmy Dean, yeah. Fresher than some Listerine, ice on me, Krispy Kreme, yeah. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Mr. Clean, Jimmy Dean, yeah. Fresher than some Listerine. I pull up with that drip. Bitch, I'm the leak. Bet I'ma pull up on you with the sauce, turn around and then pull off on you with a freak. I'm probably the illest, realest, untamed gorilla that a nigga ever gon' meet. But I'm out the cage today. Come and get you a fade today. Yeah, your bitch on my line said the dick on her mind and she tryna get laid today. Had to tell her to wait cause I ain't got a cape and she cannot get saved today. Bitch, play your part and tell these niggas that it's already over. We ain't even start. Came from the back and now I'm in the front. Call me Loco, also known as Rosa Parks. Bitch, they ain't know you could do with me. I ain't with the games and the foolery. To fuck with your boy, you gon' need you the Army, the Navy, and Homeland Security. And I really don't fuck with no jewelry, cause my mama said always try to keep it humble. So I'ma pull up on these niggas stunting, cause I know that they ain't never seen a bundle. Bitch, I'm bad, yeah. The way he be moving, he know what he doing and get to the bag, yeah. The way he be coolin', like all he be doing is popping them tags, yeah. All I want is the better things, give me everything I never had, yeah. Bitch, I get in the bag, ooh, tell them niggas I'm bad. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Mr. Clean, Jimmy Dean, yeah. Fresher than some Listerine, ice on me, Krispy Kreme, yeah. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Mr. Clean, Jimmy Dean, yeah. Fresher than some Listerine, ice on me, Krispy Kreme, yeah. Who you know fresh like this? Who you know dressed like this? Who you know pull up flexing with your ex, make a nigga wish you never left that bitch, should've kept that bitch. Who you know drop like this? Who you know pop like this? Who you know out here looking like a Percocet, make your bitch want pop that shit? Okay, it's me, surprise. Know that a bitch can't believe her eyes. I ain't a snack, as a matter of fact, I'm a whole combination, complete with fries. Ain't no cap, no need to lie, cause now everybody knowing and the word out. I give a fuck about what a nigga saying, and I give a fuck about what you heard about. I'm bad.
You're welcome to the Nightly Strange.
It's not.